Hello guys, you are welcome once again to another fantastic episode of The Gold Room with Iyabo Ojo. And today I am bringing you guys a lot of hype and excitement and energy because I am bringing one of the best that we have in town. It's what we call the hype god. Yes, he is the energy god. I'm bringing dot to the T to the dot. Oh!
It's crazy. Everybody always have a problem with my name. I think even I sometimes I have a problem with how I pronounce my name.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm good.
Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Is it not Dotun?
Well, Oludotun, that's for people, the family guys, people who know me on radio. It's D-O to the T-U-N for a bit of up-level, high, you know. But a lot of people in broadcasting know me as D-O to the T-U-N. Oludotun is the father, Oludotun is the family guy, and Energy God is the life of the
Energy
party.
God is what I know. Because you go, that, I'm going to start with that. Where do you get all this energy from? Is it like you take energy drink or there's something you're using? I mean, you've been like that forever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fortunately, I was signed up to, shout out to my SBC family. I was signed up to Super Commando as an ambassador. This is the third year running.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you say energy drink, I mean, lately in the last 3 years, I'll tell you that once in a while before I get up and do my stuff because, you know, it doesn't give palpitation and all that. So I'm good about that. But majorly is I've always been a hyper child. For everybody who knows me back then in Chemista International School, I mean, I was born and bred in Surulere. They call my parents up sometimes and say, your kids, sometimes he just sits and sweats. It was a problem at that time. And they complain a lot of times that I never sit in the place. And that's the truth. I don't think I can do a 9-to-5 job. I don't think I can. I have to be on the move, you know, and taking that same strength of having, my energy is not just in my work, even the way I speak, how I relate to people. Sometimes it also comes with the fact that I like to be very positive.
Yeah.
So sometimes I just want to get things done. But when I meet you and I think, oh, I can't work this out, I want to have a conversation with you. Oh, let's get this thing done. You know, it can happen.
Very, very spontaneous.
So, I mean, so that applies to me in everything. Energy for me is so many things. But majorly when you see me work, I've been trust me.
Yeah, I've seen you work so many times. Yeah. You light up the room. I mean, you impact the energy. Like,
thank you.
There's no dulling when he's performing. Just know that and no peace. Yeah. And I have not found anyone that meets up to his energy. I think Kiki is trying to, right now. I think she's the female version of you right now.
So yes. she's doing it good.
Yeah, she's the female version. Yeah. So yes, to my question of the day. Who is Dotun and how was the journey for you?
The journey was a bit rough. Wow. As a kid, I was not very, you know, sometimes when you're attacked as a black sheep. I mean, no disrespect to my parents. I come from a pretty liberal family. My dad is, retired building engineer. Okay. From Ondo State. Education is key. Anything else? So he's a strict dad. My mom is a bit more like the chill version, but she is attended the life for all her life. So imagine you growing up with the life of a mom. She's a very religious mom. A strict dad and a very religious mom. Wow, what a combination. Exactly. And I have a dad who doesn't go to church. He believes in God, but he doesn't go to church. My mom, church from the day when I've always known her, you know, till date. So you can understand that at the end of the day, their values and norms that they expect from you. So, but sometimes I go to church and I'm not happy. When I go to church, I'm thinking, there's more to me than being religious. I just wanted to be more spiritual. But that took time to find myself. But majorly, I was just a boy who grew up in a one room back in Surulere. If you know, a lot of my friends know me then in Aguda.
Oh,
at the time.
Yeah, I know Aguda.
people still don't feel like I ever grew up in that kind of setting. But the
You
truth
look like
is,
someone that grew up in America.
Jerry,
You
yeah,
look like what we call akata.
no, I call you. I call you. And the thing is, what that means is, I learned that because my work, my job entailed that you have to be able to be picked out from the crowd. And I felt like I've always embodied something that made me a lot different for everybody else. So I wanted to just be different. I wanted to be noticed. And I wanted to be tagged as one of the premium brands in the world. So
And you are.
exactly, and that's what I wanted to do. But majorly is you will never really see that from a boy coming from the streets.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of polishing, a lot of thinking, hard work, and for me it was not easy. One room.
That's a lot of dedication.
Yeah, one room kind of kid. But then, I mean, I give it up to my parents. They will never really let your neighbors see that you're going through anything. They used to call my mom, my mama nurse. She was known for treating everybody in the street for free. Sometimes they come to her house. You can't go to the hospital, you know, because she has access to drugs. She takes care of almost everybody. So I think the goodwill of my mom and my parents almost kind of extended to me. There's nothing that I did that I think I'm great at. I just feel like God just loves me. And I think it almost felt like they were trying to repay them because I have very good parents. I'm going to say that if I decide to be something else, I chose that for myself. But it was a family that we just never wanted people to know our pains, you know.
And they were very contented with
very
what they
contented.
had, and they raised you guys right.
Absolutely.
Are you the only one?
No, I'm the first. I have my younger brother is Pepe Nazi.
Okay.
He's not a pastor. He's one that did Ilega.
Ah.
Ilega.
Okay.
He's not married. He's a pastor now. He's in the UK. He works. He's a different guy. I have a younger sister too, who's the second born as well.
Okay.
And she runs her own business. You know, beautiful soul as well. She's married as well. But I'm the first. We're just three, family of five. Very simple and all that, and we just never let anybody know our pains.
A lot of women run away from the firstborn. They feel like the pressure is always too much.
The truth is, yes. Second-borns are always the ones that are expected to be the troublesome one.
Yes.
But you know, firstborns, there's so much expectations.
Yeah.
You know, I know how that means. You have to get to school, get an education so others can see you. Even if you cannot get an education,
you have to always be like a role
you have to be
model.
on your toes and your feet.
Yeah.
And I feel sometimes, to be honest, that kind of shaped me because I want my siblings to just look up to me and be able to take the best out of what I've done. It's not like I'm the best in anything. I'm not great in everything that I do, but the truth is, the expectation, and it's because of the way we were raised.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be the first guy, lay an example. Even when they're going wrong, you can't do the same thing. I get beaten for everything. My siblings will not get beaten for it, which is normal actually.
Yeah, I know. But it's good. I'm sure they're proud of you because we are proud of you. I am proud of you.
Any choice.
Any choice. Okay, so that brings me to the next question. Why radio? Why entertainment?
See, radio for me is bliss. Radio for me is also, I think for everything that shaped me, I picked it from the four walls of my home. Some out of boredom, some out of the fact that I look at everybody else, I think I could be better than that. My daddy unknowingly used to buy me transistor radios because there was never power.
Okay.
Bebe. And I grew up in a family, my daddy thinks having a generator is noise.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. You know, but at the time, that's how he felt. My daddy was always the part. He loves peace. So he felt like that. I said, okay. I mean, I used to listen to the guy called Shakasali. There's a station they call Voice of America.
Yeah.
I listened to it a lot at night. My daddy used to buy me a lot of transistor radios. And my dad was the type of dad that he would buy newspapers every Sunday. You read it and come and tell him what it is. So for some reason, he was building my vocabulary, trying to build me and, you know, be like, oh, you have to be informed, knowledgeable. Because I see my dad is the kind of person who can talk about anything, sports, anything. He would have a conversation about it. And I just wanted to be like that. But he was shaping me, he didn't know. But his own idea of going to school and getting an education was because he had a elder brother, who was a medical doctor, Dr. Kayode, very popular, you know, and it was great, a great gynecologist. And he wanted me, but that was not my direction. I loved entertainment. I used to watch people like Patitomi, Ruben Abati on Patito's Gang, I listened to a lot of shows. Foot Baskets, Boromiro was something I used to watch every Sunday. My daddy would make everyone sit down and watch Boromiro. Wow. So, at the time, I just felt like he was shaping me. He didn't know that.
Yes.
But for some reason, I loved radio.
I know.
And then the first time, so rest in peace, Mr. Nzeribe used to be, he was a chairman of APCON at that time.
Okay.
So he used to teach me in school because I attended Lagos State University. And he just felt like I was very spontaneous, like you said, fluid. I can have conversations. I was very witty. I was very playful, troublesome at the same time. But he sees how I engage with people in class. And he said, you'll be good in the media. And I said, I've always loved to do that. I also started as a dancer as well. That was my
really?
first, yeah.
Also, you danced?
Yeah. I danced in a couple of videos at the time. And I used to choreograph a group called Extreme. Then I moved to Ignite. The first time I met Wande Cole was University of Lagos. We at the basketball court. Because Wande too is a very good dancer as well.
Okay.
But that was one thing I wanted to do.
Okay.
I picked that up. I've always loved Michael Jackson, Justin Timberlake, Wade Robson. Yeah, but the truth is, radio was just something about it. And because I used to listen to a lot of people's problems at night, Tokwe Brown, so rest in peace.
Amen.
Then I picked it up from people like Steve the Slick Cattery, of Ray Power. And I just said, I like how these guys talk. JJ.
Yeah.
I just said, you know what? This is for me. And he gave me my first shot. And
wow. Who did? JJ?
no, the Mr. Nzeribo guy.
Okay.
I troubled the guy during my internship. And you know what's funny? I'm a very loyal person. If I love something and I love a place, I give it my all. The first place I walked into to work in radio was Cool FM.
Okay.
And I'm still there.
Till now you are, because I have been to your
station, right?
Station
since 2004. So it's never about what they pay me or what it is. I just love radio.
You're loyal.
Yeah, I am.
Very loyal. That's it. He's very, very, very loyal. And it's always good to be loyal.
Yeah.
Yes, it is always good. As long as you're getting paid or making money from it also. Because you must feed your family. I know. So that gets me to the next question again. I know you were once married.
Yeah.
And I know you got divorced.
Yeah.
And I know you have 2 lovely children.
Beautiful girls, yeah.
And I know you had some back and forth, trying to see your kids. So have you eventually sorted that out? Are you seeing your kids now?
No, I haven't seen my kids. And, since all the time that thing came out, I just took a different approach. Listen, no children wants to come back to a broke dad. I don't know how that might sound to anybody, but I'm speaking for everybody who cares to understand that. So kids will get to a point they're going to choose who they want to be with. Yeah. You might even not be broke, or you might be broke and they still choose you anyways. But I'm saying that kids always will come back to the truth. Yeah. They now decide to choose who's telling the truth or who isn't. Okay. The only thing I've been able to position myself is, and I've already said I boldly spoke about, is I've always spoken the truth. And I've still not seen my kids till date. And I just chose to be mentally right. Yeah. I've chosen to be a hardworking guy that I've always been, because I started to lose, weight on the things I should be doing because I was trying to fight, which is the right thing to do. Yeah. I have to fight for my kids. I'm still fighting. Yeah. I'm just maybe this time around fighting silently because of them. I don't want to pour out too many things, which I'd done the first time. There's still more to come, but I just felt it was best. The truth will find, the kids will grow up and find out who's telling the truth. And I'm very sure I can stand anywhere, any day. And shout out to all the people who judge me. I just want to be a great father to my kids. And I'm not the type of dad that lets somebody decide or choose what they should become. We can all co-parent and do the right thing. Yeah. But when somebody's constantly breaking the law, tells a lot of lies, never truthful about anything, it's easy. When everybody comes out, imagine it was all the way around. I was the one who took my kids and ran off. What would people say to me? Yeah. Even people like you are going to jump on me. That's the truth. So I feel like at the end of the day, men speak, but I think it's time for men to start speaking differently. And I want my own to be an example. I'm going to work towards the best I can do for myself and my children. I want them to come back and know that daddy is good, and that's it. And I keep working for them and keep fighting the best way I can fight. But I've not seen my kids till now. I just choose not to talk about it because I don't want to grant them that validation.
Well, I don't want to get involved
Yeah.
in the matter, so I'm not going to ask you what happened, what went wrong. No, I'm not going to do that. But I want to like advise, if she's going to be watching me, I need her to listen to this. And for other ladies out there who probably are going through one issue with their spouse or whatever, I'm going to tell you this for a fact. My son is going to be 25 years old, so my daughter is going to be 23. And I'm telling you for a fact that it is wrong to separate the child from the father or the child from the mother. Both children, all children, they need both parents.
Absolutely.
As long as the parents are alive, as long as the parent is not a danger to the child. And when I say danger, probably child abuse in any form or manner, they need their parent. They need their father or their mother. And I'll use my story as a little example. When I left my man, I made it a point of duty to make sure that they were in contact with their dad. And I'll give reasons why. Some of my friends were like, no, don't do that. I said, no. Whatever's going on between me and their father is between me and their father.
Absolutely.
But my children, they need to grow upright, right? And when I mean upright, it means that mentally, I wanted my children to be okay. A lot of children who grow up with one parent, they always feel inferior to that child that has both fatherly and motherly love. And when they go to school and their peers are talking about my mom, my dad, my mom, my dad, they're just going to be looking like, because it happened to me when I was growing up. For a while, I didn't see my mom for years. And at the time, my mom also took us away. I didn't see my dad for some period of years. And those years, most time, I even had to make up stories so that my peers would not mock me or feel like I don't have the same kind of love that they have or feel from their parents. So it's always very important to allow your children, to have access to their dad and also have access to the mom so that, because for your boy child, there's some things Festus can talk to me about.
Absolutely.
As a woman. And there's some things Priscilla can talk to her dad about as a woman, right? So the boy sometimes needs the dad, and the female needs the mom.
The truth is, kids need both parents.
They need both parents.
And if it's not a case where maybe you lost one of them, because let me tell you one thing, there is no way in this world you're going to be telling them lies.
Yeah.
They're going to ask you, oh, where's daddy?
Yeah.
You're going to lie to them.
Yeah.
You're going to tell them all sorts. You're going to paint pictures that are never there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, for everybody who knew me as a person, they knew how close I was with my girls.
Yeah.
The thing is, we might have our issues, which, to be honest, that's another conversation for another day. But that's by the way. There are laws. There are things that we need to do. You don't lie to the law. You don't lie under oath. You don't use kids as weapons or baits. Yeah. We might have problems, right? But that's by the way. The kids did not put us here. Yeah. It's not their fault. Yeah. Why? For even anybody that uses kids as bait, you don't love them. You just think you love them by doing that, but you don't love them.
Yeah, because it's going to affect them mentally. You need to allow them have that easy and free communication with their dad or with their mom, depending on which of the parents are holding on to the child. It's extremely very important. I think Priscilla was about 14 or 15 when she even it dawned on her that my mom and my dad are not together really, because I covered up for every time, every time there was a need for them to receive a gift from the mom and the dad, and I also made sure that he called them at every time that he had the opportunity. I made sure he visited them when he had to, and sometimes he took them home to his own place for visiting till he traveled. We did that then. It was like a ritual, but we had to do it, so that our kids could grow up, right? And it really worked. It helped. That's why tomorrow, funny enough, I used to think Festus was going to be closer to me than the dad, and I was going to think Priscilla was going to be closer to the dad, than me. But unfortunately, Priscilla is more closer to me, and Festus is even more closer to the dad. But Festus, is very mature. He tries to balance everything,
things, okay.
And
so emotions will not keep flying around.
Thank you. So I will not keep reminding him that, where was your dad when I was doing it? So he tries to balance, both
I understand.
It. And I think it's just good for parents to find a way to work things out in a way whereby both of you can raise your children together. It's really important.
It's very key.
If you're listening to me, please, please, please try and make sure the kids get to speak to their dad. It's
Yeah,
important.
yeah, the
You will thank me for that later when they grow
yeah,
up.
that's a lot, not a lot.
You know,
It's a lot.
it will happen.
I mean, I've kept it behind me.
Okay.
Let God take control.
So let's get back to you now. I'm sure your kids are going to get to see you very soon. I'm sure she's going to listen to me and she's going to take this advice.
Hopefully.
So what's going to happen? Do you still believe in love? Are you still going to try love or give love a chance again?
Yes, I will.
Oh, really? Oh,
The thing is, clearly for me, I would feel like I'm taking my time, but clearly is, I mean, that's one, I would boldly say it. That's one thing in life that I feel like I love family.
Oh, that's
I love
good.
when
You're big in
things are
family.
functional, and
Yeah.
because the truth is, we live on a fast lane, and people don't understand. As crazy as marriage might sound, I'll tell you one thing: it's sacrifice before love. That's what marriage is about. That's what I feel. You both have to sacrifice, and that's what builds into love.
Yeah.
So at some point, the truth is, I always say it might sound crazy. I think marriage is for old age. Because I think you don't want to be alone forever. But at the same time, you don't have to be dependent on anybody to be happy or to
Yeah.
be yourself.
Thank you.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
if you choose to don't want to marry, that's okay. So
Yeah.
you can find happiness. I just feel I find happiness in a more functional system.
Yeah.
That includes where I see my kids, I see my wife, and we're good to go. I mean,
Yeah.
and all that. Nobody's the best in marriage.
Nobody.
Nobody is. Everybody comes out and paints their own pictures, but it's all sacrifice before love.
I know.
And I feel for me, I think is where I am. I want to, I'm finding myself more now, you know. And, oh, they're bad.
Yeah.
No, bad.
Fine Bobo. Fine Bobo looking
So
zen.
it is what it is. Yeah.
So have you ever ventured into acting?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I was on, and shout out to Funke Akindele.
Okay.
I was
Hi,
on.
baby girl. Funke is making all the billions
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I told her to send me just 0.5%. Not
Own
one,
cash,
half.
own cash all everything.
Cash out now.
Yeah.
Funke, 0.5%. Remember the days of sweet sensation? I'm just telling you. Remember, I will send half. Oh.
Yeah, so I have, and I think is something I would love to do. I was on indoor streets. I played Dolakbo, and it was a record label owner. Funke put me in a real pad that fitted what I was.
you were doing.
I was quite cocky and very, you know. But I think that was one of the first times. And I also was in a movie called The Sniper. Shout out to Abinibi.
Okay.
He put me. I acted with Nino. Great guy. You know, open-minded. He put me through stuff, and honestly, to be honest, being on set for days, I realized that, listen, I have a profound respect for actors. I'm not going to lie.
Thank you.
Let me be honest. First of all, the pay is not even good.
Yes.
But I see that for most of you guys, it's the passion to deliver something.
Yeah.
And you have people on your mind more than what you're getting paid for,
Yeah.
which is a big deal. You know, unlike other professions, I'm okay with the like I don't song, I don't say anything. So shout out to Funke. There was one that I was supposed to, I would have played the lead actor for Omageto, the one that DME played. So I was on set for a month. We actually had a fight, but it was based off on, she wanted a level of precision, and I'm an actor trying to learn, you know, so I understand that. She didn't have time. People that put in money as well, they want a certain kind of
Salary
class or
class,
level, which I feel like would have been nice. I mean, seeing someone who was different out of the box, I was training, boxing every day,
Wow.
boxing, going to the gym. I was far away in MNS States one
Wow.
month. And then I just felt, wah, wah, wah.
Voila, you poor.
Like, well, and we spoke and we understood each other. Funke is an enigma in this thing. And I think I took lessons from that because I felt, man, if I can't really, she wanted a type of level. And the thing is, there was no time to train someone to that level. And that was when DME came and replaced me. I would have been the lead actor for Mageto. That would have been a big banger for me. But
I know.
But it is, I see that we talk. Funke and I were very good friends. And I see that, you know, when the time is right, the time will be right.
Obviously, loads of opportunities, you know, coming your way.
But I will.
Definitely.
Acting is good.
Yes, I
You've blown all this. You guys, it's like, I see you guys on set. Let me not lie to you. I saw Choma Okpota. Is it Choma here? Yeah. And the way she takes her lines, I'm like, geez.
How do you guys do this?
So I understand how you guys do these things. It's crazy.
Years of experience and training, and embodying the role. So thank you. They don't give us our flower enough, and they will still call us. They will still call us breezy on top of the voila. But it is well.
It's not easy, man. I'm not gonna lie.
It is
it's
well.
It's a different ballgame entirely. And then I not realize that when you say people say I can't do what you're doing. No. It's the same way people come into my profession, put them on a microphone. It's hard.
It's hard.
But I now understand that you have to respect everybody's craft. Yeah. Even from the guy that's selling rat poison, truthfully, or the guy running in traffic, you cannot really do that. In that hot sun, doing it for weekend, day in, day out, it's a lot. So shout out to you guys. It's a lot of work.
Shout out to all of us. All of us. Entertainment is big. It is large. It is entertaining, but it comes with a lot of stress, hard work, and dedication. Yeah, because getting there, sometimes people think that's the hardest. It's not the hardest. Getting there is not the hardest, but maintaining, your status and elevating and growing up is the cocoa.
Trust me.
So if you find someone doing that, give them their flowers.
Give them all.
Straight up. So, before we go to the next one, there's something we do on this show that is called the twist. So you get to be the host, which is your job anyway.
Okay.
Let me drink to that. Because you get to ask me just one question.
One question. Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Deal to the TUN. Welcome to the Gold Room with Iyabo Ojo, delectable, beautiful, smart, and she's on the seat today.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be asking her just one very good question.
Okay.
People obviously would think, oh, you're a bad lady, and I think, okay, you are, sometimes we get to be diverse. There's always a thing about tribe in Nigeria.
Yeah.
When I say, show from Igbo. Or the same way they say an Igbo guy, say, how much you battle of what that means is, oh, you married an Igbo guy, or you dated an Igbo guy. Or why is he Yoruba, why is he Igbo?
Yeah.
I know you get those kind of questions every single time, right?
People especially during election.
Absolutely.
They actually called me Omwali.
You clearly understand what I'm trying to say, right? But the truth is, I met your man, great guy. We worked together.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, what do you see that other people don't see?
Okay, so number one, I don't reason the way they reason.
Okay.
Probably because I was raised by my grandmother, paternal grandmother, who is Delta Igbo. And when I say Delta Igbo, I mean her dad is Delta and mom is Igbo. And my mom's mom, who is also my granny on the maternal part, who died, and that was the reason why I'm in Iyabo, is also from Edo, Benin City. So I grew up from this family where tribe was not an issue.
And it should never be.
Yeah, it was never an issue. So we had all these different tribes. I started learning Yoruba on the streets and in my secondary school days. And I think it got better when I got married, because I married a Yoruba man, So it wasn't like I grew up from a Yoruba setting, proper. Yeah, no. I've never even been, I've been to Abeokuta, I've been to Ogun State, but I've never been to my hometown. Okay. So I'm a Lagosian in a way that grew up among different tribes. So I can date anybody.
That's
and
great.
My kids can date anybody. And though for Paulo, being an Igbo man, for me that was a little bit, because I have never really dated an Igbo man, so.
You still don't answer the question, you know that, right? What do you see that we don't see?
That's where I'm getting to. So for me, when I hear about the Igbo men, I feel, they're these men that like to work, business, all this, their culture. But Paulo also grew up, he grew up in the Igbo land, but he stayed most of his life abroad. So he's very knowledgeable and he's very exposed. He doesn't think like a typical Igbo man. He's very westernized. Even though when he's speaking, you would know that he's an Igbo man, right? His mentality is far away. So that is what I see in him, and that's what I saw. And I was like, okay, this is different. He understands me better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess you answered the question. That's a real twist.
Okay.
How do you feel talking about it? You feel
I
but apply your phone.
Okay. So we're back to me again.
Yeah.
Back to me, back to my show. Okay. So what is next for That's
Well, you know, the thing is, I've embodied a profession called hype in Nigeria. It's one of the fastest growing profession in Africa. And I see, like I said, we're doing the best we can do to put it on the map. Now, let me break this down. Typical Jamaican parties, you see a guy who's on a microphone and a DJ. The guy is like the most important person in the party because he drives everybody crazy, drives everybody out of their seat. So I used to watch a lot of those parties. Now, shout out to people like Special Spesh. Special Spesh used to be, he's a hype man for Davido now, but he started with Mo Hits. He's the guy that he lays the voice, lays the background, lays the fire, and lays the energy in the room, then you can come out and bounce off it. So it's not like we started it. We have likes of Jamaican parties, there was a hype man and a DJ, and then I used to watch a lot of videos like that. And I felt, you know what, something is missing in our, you know, our parties, nightlives, and even weddings. And then with me, I picked that up, then I commercialized it. Now, commercialized in the sense that you make it more of a profession, a business, you know, where you can be seen as anybody else. And that's why you see parties now. You can never really go for a party, weddings, you will find a hype man. There's no club in Africa that you don't find a hype man.
Definitely. It makes the party lit.
So as radio is beautiful, hype made me the most of my money.
Oh, wow.
Because what that did for me is it put a lot of people on the map. Kids started to understand the craft. Now you see all these likes of we have tons of hype men, but you see people now like people like Voting of Hype.
Anita Joseph's husband is also one.
That's MC Fish.
Yes.
Shout out to Jimmy, Shorty. Those are the people that I started with. Shorty, Jimmy. Now you see what they do. It's different.
Yeah.
So that's what hype had done. You almost now see that there's no party without a hype man and a DJ. You can also even rock a party without that. So that's what we
even in all clubs.
All clubs. So that thing is, we also need our flowers. I mean, I've been reaching out to Iron and Mashon codedly. It's time for it to put hype in category. Because these days,
it's true.
think about it, hype is what, and for me personally, there's no pop, I work with tons of brands. So now, I commercialize in the sense that, and like to Jimmy and Shorty, because we wanted to now make it something that is more presentable. Not just a person jumping. There are different types of hype.
It's a career now.
Exactly, it's a career now. We wanted to make it more of a professional career and a lot of young people. So now they have different hype men. Now we have the ones who are for hospitality business, which is strictly the clubs. We have people who do hype at weddings. We have different types of hype. People who actually are always backups for musicians and artists. Like for me, I told it Olamide in the United States for myself, Olamide. I was the hype for Olamide one time. But the first guy who ever put me on was Vector the Viper. After Vector, Ice Prince took me to London for one of his gigs, which I was a hype man and back up as well. And then Olamide did the tour with me, you know, and all that. And then Olamide put me as a hype man. I was hype man for Olamide for a while, you know, and that really just put the fire that it is. So I just thought about it and I said, you know what? I don't want to be a hype man behind an artist every single time. I could do it once in a while, but now I wanted to take it into the real hospitality space. And that's what everybody's doing now. And I love it. I love it because the thing is, there's more to it. There's more that gives you. Now, it feeds families too.
He does.
So,
it's a career.
You just have to have a boniki at all times because sometimes your body will ache.
Because that's what I would say, that the way they go with the voice, and, you know, now there's a lot of it. It's fun. Sometimes I listen to some in the club, and sometimes you don't want to spend money, but by the time they are hyping,
it's like it's the same. Another guy I looked up to.
It's just like singing.
Exactly. It's this guy behind Inka Ifele. I've always tried to look for that man. I said maybe one day I'll speak to Arole.
Okay, the hype guy.
Yeah, there's a guy that talks every Ayefele song.
Yeah, he's
that
always
guy is the guy. That's a hype man.
Yeah.
That's a hype man. But everybody's a hype man. For example, now you come and you want to sell a product. There's a way you come and say, a conductor is a hype man, a pastor, imam. The way he picked the Bible passages and expresses it. It's just a type of, it's how you express your energy. Now, imagine now, we are just doing that at parties.
Yeah.
But everybody's a hype man.
Yes. Even there's this guy, this actor, the one that fought with Portable. That fought with Portable, his name just went off my head, right? Charles Okocha.
Charles Okocha is a hype man.
No, he has a hype man. You know the guy is always talking
what's his name? so the thing is, a hype man would make you look larger than life. Anything you sell that's beyond the ordinary, It now depends on the kind of energy you put in it,
Yeah.
the wordplay, how you project whatever it is. It could be a service, it could be a brand, it could be personality or your persona.
Yeah.
That's what hype is about. Now, what we're doing is we're trying to define it even to a point whereby it can be taught in schools. For example, it's something you could teach in a theater class, maybe like a subject in, art, theater and arts and something, because the type of arts is very
broad subject.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, to me, like I worked with all types of brands, and then one thing about me, I don't restrict myself. I'm a TV host. I was hosting the Pepsi Turn Off Friday for years. TV host, radio has also helped me as well. Then also, I also always encourage these guys, you have to do voice training as well. Because I've been on radio, you have to train your voice, how you sound, what you embody about your style and every single thing. So with us, shout out to Jimmy, Shorty and all the rest, Jerry Shaffer, we just wanted to, it's not going to be a profession thinking, it's for a category of people who are very dejected and no, it's a profession, it's a career now. That's why you see when we go out, we look good. We try to do that, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
So when it's presented, you see that there's a lot more to
so
this.
So maybe one day we're going to have a hype concert.
We're actually working on that.
Yeah.
And I know there's one already that Jerry is the guy they call Jerry Shaffer. He does it every single time. He's one of the guys who has taken hype concert to a different level. He also goes to other states and everybody grows differently. But him, I like the fact he goes into the grassroots, he even gives out money. The last time, one of the hype men that won over 10 million.
Wow.
Yeah. And he did it at the Balmora. He does it every year.
Wow.
Hype concert. And now a lot of people do concerts like there's RoboCop, there's a kid I call RoboCop, the Big Beanie, they have their concerts now. So it's just that for me, I don't rush. I'm a guy. I just want to be happy. Everybody,
do your thing.
And whatever you call it, the Godfather or no Godfather, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
I just want these kids to be able to grow, and I like what they're doing with it. Move with it. When the time is right, I'll come out.
You do your thing, and it's going to be big, big, big.
Absolutely.
Big. All right. Thank you so much
welcome.
for coming on the show. But before we go, we would like you to say one or two things to your beautiful fans out there and the young ones who are looking up to you and wanting to hear an advice from you.
First of all, I wasn't wanted to say this. My comments and my conversations, I think is not supposed to be relatable to my personal life. There's a lot more to Dotun that you don't know, and that's cool. A lot of people judge me what I say. I'm just being truthful. I'm an open-minded person. The things you might not think you would say. So I always tell everybody, please, regardless of whatever anybody thinks about you, leave you and do you. People will judge you regardless. You don't, they will. So if you're trying to get into a profession in life, always understand, do you. And as long as it's legal, good. Second is that whenever say I want to be like you, listen, be like yourself.
Be like yourself.
And I'm a mentor to a lot of people, but I want to say this, right? I might not be the best mentor for your child. I'm just a human being. And so please,
doing you.
Yeah. If you want me as a mentor, fine. If you don't, that's fine. But do you and be like the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
That's all. Peace.
So guys, here said it. You've heard it from the horse's mouth. Be you and be the best version of yourself. It is extremely important to. Don't tell you now. Before you come and say, "Hey, I'm right there." Now you saying this? Be you and do you.
I don't have to be yours. There are other people there as well.
I'm telling you. Okay, so I'm going to allow you close the show for us.
Okay.
All right.
You already know how we do this, right? If it's gold, it's gold. You cannot touch that, right?
Yeah.
I'm hanging out with one of the best to ever do it. They call her Queen Mother for different reasons.
Yes.
And a lot of reasons. She's going to fight for you for the right reasons, too. And we're live from the Gold Room with Iyabo Ojo. I'm Dio to the TUN, and we're out of here.
Yes, we are out of here. Now, guys, do not forget to put on your notification. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and share. We love you.
Peace.
Peace out. Peace out. Thank you.